Well, good afternoon and hello everybody. I just completed another model. This was a Timu, a Gao Misi, that's the brand, T99A Chinese main battle tank. And here's a completed model. I'm going to show you the whole thing because it is kind of bizarre compared to some of the others, but it was not bad to put together. The decals weren't bad. It doesn't have hatches, it doesn't have an engine display, things like a Kobe or a Quan or any of the others, Sembo, but it's kind of very basic. And let me see if I can move it around a bit. And it's kind of wonky in spots, but it did go together well. And I mean, it wasn't a bad build. It comes with one figure. There he is. I don't know what country he's supposed to be from. It doesn't look Chinese. And it's just built from small sub-assemblies. A little bit of history of this tank because I didn't know much about it. It is called the ZTZ-99. It's a replacement for the Type 88, China's first mass-produced third-generation tank. It has modular composite armor and um, tandem charge defeating ERA, which is explosive pieces of body of you can see on front the little panels that blow up. So they kind of defeat the anti-tank shells coming from enemy tanks. I'm not going to say Western tanks per se, like American, European. I think this is also made to go after Russian tanks too. There's a Chinese tank. And eventually you'll probably see some countries like Pakistan buying this tank or using it. Okay, back to the actual tank. It's got a 125 millimeter smoothbore gun with ATGM capability, high mobility with digital systems and optics. They started producing this in 2007 and they're producing it to the present to now. I think there are like 2,025 of these produced. It's a 51-ton tank, crew of three, commander, driver, gunner, composite reactive armor with applique. The applique would be these explosive pieces, and you'll see them. They look like little rectangles. They're all over the tank. Um, it has a liquid cooled V12 twin turbo diesel, 1,500 horsepower, road speed of 47 miles an hour, and off road of 34. Initially, the chassis is based off a T-72 Soviet tank, but from there on there, it's totally Chinese, engineered, designed, and is what it is. What are my thoughts of this tank? It's not bad. It's a little bit toyish. I had no missing parts or problems. It was kind of cumbersome because, like I said, it has little pieces that snap to hold it on the bottom. You don't see a true hull like the tanks that I've been building, whether they be the Kobe's or the Sembos, or like I said, the Quanguan. Quanguan makes actually pretty decent. And there are a couple of others, but it's hard to get those on Timu now. So you got to kind of go and get what you could get. So I tried this out just to see. It was under $20. It's not bad. It's like 1/35th scale. The only problem I had are the wheels. When you lock these wheels in on here, the road wheels, they don't really work well. I packed them with petroleum jelly, kind of like a grease packing. What I'm going to try to put some WD-40 on it and then see if I can get it to work so I can roll the tank and the threads and then the wheels will work. And I'm sure I could do that. But for now, I'll give you some good looks at it. Like I said, it is weird the way you build it. It's not a full hull. You put pieces together and then you stabilize them with these bars on the bottom, which are okay, I guess. But it's actually pretty easy for me to display everything. It has a gun on the top. Um, my reflections, thoughts, whatever. Not a bad vehicle. It's kind of neat because you don't get to see. Oh, one of the gas fuel tanks popped off. Chinese made equipment on the field that much, and then most of the stuff that they have, you would assume is just a copy of Soviet kind of stuff, and that's not actually the case. They do come up with their own design, and I think from a technological standpoint, like electronics, computers, and stuff. I actually think the Chinese probably make better stuff than the Russians do now. I really do, because they will sell their stuff off. And I think you could do a lot more with a modern Chinese piece of weaponry from a Soviet, Russian, or whatever. But that's what it looks like. I also just received, and this one will probably be a lot better, a Sembo. I think it's called a T-20. It's a Chinese version of the Seahawk. It's basically a Black Hawk made for the sea. I've just got it. I've not started with it, but I will try to build this one quickly so I can show this off. This looks like a very interesting, intricate, and nice model, kind of like the J-35 fighter. But for now, back to this. Would I suggest anybody buying this? Yeah, just for playing around and stuff. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it needs some help here and there, which I think I can do to make it a little bit better. But otherwise, it's not a bad design, not a bad model either. Basically, it's got smoke dispensers on the side also. I think what the role of this tank is to fight, and to be basically the role of a tank as far as shooting and destroying stuff. But I think this has killer capabilities like the Abrams. Would it be able to go up against an Abrams? Oh no, maybe, maybe not. But I mean, it does have the capability, at least on paper, to be a challenging tank. It's quick. Its gun hits from far away. So I don't know. It remains to be seen if we see it in battle, utilized by any countries, which might happen, or maybe we may not. But then that's it. Not much more to say about this, like I said, because there's not really that much. But my main thing here is to give you a little bit of info on this tank and just kind of show you. I'm sure they have better detailed copies of this tank. I'll look for one if I could find one and build it again. But I mean, it's kind of an interesting thing. But you'll see it like in a year or so when Pakistan feels these, because Pakistan buys a lot of a lot of Chinese weaponry. Once again, it is the 99A, Type 99A main battle tank MBT. I mean, for abbreviation purposes, and not bad. Not, I mean, on a scale of Kobe or the other stuff, but not bad, and will fit in with everything else in terms of collection, and kind of gives you an insight to what they produce in China. So that'll be it for this video. I will get to work on the other tank the other thing, the helicopter, and I got a few more I might get. So stay tuned, and I'm also gonna do a few other videos because this is the holiday season, and you may want to go out and buy stuff. So some suggestions on stuff. They have watches, pens, or whatever. Make a suggestion, and gym clothes too, because I go out to the gym a lot because I'm semi-retired. So I also buy that. So think of something that you may want me to discuss otherwise, but I will have more of these military videos coming, and maybe some car videos if I can find some interesting Lego stuff to build. Otherwise, that will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I didn't look too offensive. I tried to make sure I was cleanly shaven and looking good. Hopefully I get a haircut this weekend, and more videos will be on the way. Thank you for watching my videos, and hopefully you enjoy them. We'll see you later.